basically my go-to, I would say, default kit that I use for all my sessions that I do.
Beautiful.
And the reason is, thank you, I love these drums. And the reason is because I feel like just with the sort of combination of sizes and the amount of drums and cymbals, I can cover just about anything. You know, some of the variables are obviously size differences and drum head combinations and all that sort of thing, but just in terms of the number of things, I have a large tonal palette here, and so that's why I use this particular setup that you see. And so that's one aspect of it. The other thing that I do is I usually, and these are Gretsch drums, and I use Gretsch drums on a personal level because I actually like the timbre that they produce. They have a unique voice, and they're very versatile, but they record really well. So you can do anything on these drums. And I use Paiste cymbals for the same reason, that they record very well. I control them, they don't control me. And so obviously with this combination of sounds, again, I can do a lot of things. So, and I actually designed these cymbals. They're called Formula 602 Modern Essentials with Paiste, so that they could cover a lot of bases, you know.
I never knew it was Paiste before. I've always said paste in the past.
There you go, Paiste.
Heist too. Heist is
No, it's
common.
Paiste.
I work at Guitar Center, so I hear it all.
Yeah, and they're also very, very, very consistent. So if somebody liked what they heard that I used and they went out and bought them, it's going to sound exactly like that, which is great. Nobody gets cheated. So that's that. And so and I usually default to what are called coated ambassador drum heads. And ambassador is a name of a drum head that the Remo drumhead company calls that particular drum head, which is a single ply, meaning this is just one sheet of mylar plastic with this coating on it. And you know, for people who really get finicky about it, it's sort of like some people think that the coated heads are ideal for the studio because of the attack that's produced by the stick striking the head, so that it's causing some sort of friction with the coating, which is sort of rough, versus a clear head. So, okay, maybe not, but I default to these coated ambassadors because, again, just with the thickness of the mylar and the sort of track record that they have and the tone that they produce, you can do a lot of stuff with them. If you want to change head combinations for various other sounds, you can do that. But you know, I'm sort of old school, so you know, with tuning and a bit of tape and or a moon gel and wallets or nothing, I can sort of manipulate the sound pretty well that way. And so that's why I choose what I choose. And I choose this 5.5-inch snare for the playability, and that it sits in a particular tonal range that I think will work in a lot of tracks. If I need something that's a little deeper, then I'll go to a 6.5, etc., etc. This auxiliary snare is great for very high-pitched stuff. Great to have. A lot of things like that nowadays. And the rest of it, oh.
And you're likely to play both snares during a song?
You know what? It's there if I need it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I might play a track with just this. So just due to the nature of a lot of modern types of music, I know that I might need something like this. And the other thing, though, for me that's really important is that runs in tandem with using instruments that are controllable and balanced. Let me just say this, that when I choose my cymbal set and my drums, I want them to match as one big holistic instrument. So that's important to me. And the cymbals themselves are an orchestra for me, you know. And so as I said before, to recap, these cymbals are very controllable, and the drums as well. So what does that mean that I have to do now? As it's my responsibility to to play balanced, so that that doesn't drive an engineer crazy. Because some people come in to recording sessions, some drummers, and they may be very, very overhead heavy, and so they show up with cymbals that are really thick and clangy, and they're just pounding, and the overheads get into everything. And so now everybody's pulling their hair out. So, you know what I mean? I think as a drummer, and having had a track record of doing a lot of studio sessions, I learned how to play balance, in other words, how to pre-mix myself. So that's an important thing. So that the engineer goes, okay, I'm okay now. I'll just bring everything up to unity, and then I can do what I want to do. And so that's what I do. And then the rest is I just have to try to play good. So.
If you go into the control room and hear a